Alright, what's going on YouTube? Working on a 2010 Hyundai Sonata. It's the GLS, and getting ready to do the passenger side rear wheel bearings. Alright, so I'm not going to take off the brake caliper. What I am going to do is, if you want to see where it's wet at with WD-40, I'm taking those two bolts off and I'm going to remove this whole complete assembly. And then taking a Phillips screwdriver and taking that out. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll do that later. But I will go ahead and remove this piece out of the way first. You can go ahead and take that screw out. It ain't gonna matter really. Hang on just one moment. Also, I want to mention too that if I ain't already said it, those are all 14s, 14 millimeter, 3/8 ratchet. And sometimes if you can get a breaker bar in here, I've just got one off of my jack. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll just slip that over. But since that's probably not going to work, I'll have to get a smaller one. And I've got one around here somewhere. I have to go find it real quick. Alright, so went ahead and found it. This little gadget here works pretty good. I mean, it's a small breaker bar, but it's enough to where you can get actual leverage on it. And get the bottom bolt done too here in a minute. Just kind of get those loosened up. Now, it's also a good idea that when you get this here complete off, it's a good idea to get you a bungee strap and hang this up somewhere, get it out of the way, and also that will help relieve the tension off of your brake line, so that way it don't break it, bust it, whatever, pinch it, whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off real quick for y'all, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so I got the brake caliper and that bracket completely off. Kind of got it wrapped around just enough to where it won't fall. Got it tied off over there. I've hooked it onto the hard line so that way it don't bend it. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of weight on the line, so you can't really bend it, can't break it or anything. Got it wrapped around the stabilizer bar up underneath. But if y'all can kind of see this here, so that wheel bearing is shot. So next, get a flathead screwdriver, or not a flathead, but a Phillips screwdriver. All right, I like to use smaller ones, get a little bit better grip on it. Well, just taking, get that screw out of there. Set the screw somewhere where it won't get lost. And also make sure, don't, especially on your bolts, a lot of people usually just put them wherever and they don't keep track of them. but I usually put them one for top, one for bottom, so I don't forget. There's also another washer that goes on that bottom bolt, and it fell down here somewhere, but I cannot find it at the moment, so I'll be looking for it here in a second. But get the rotor off of here. Now down. Whoa, what the hell? Huh, it's my first time actually messing with a Sonata. I've never seen one like this. Yes, I've seen drum brakes, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that I've never seen one that has disc rotor with brake caliper, and then pull it off, and then you got the brake shoes, which is for the emergency brake. But the ones I've messed with always had the everything right there, you know, for the emergency brake, your main brakes and all that stuff. But it's been a while since I messed with brake shoes. But this is also a good time to also inspect your brake shoes too. They're not horrible, but me, I would replace them anyway. Y'all can see that though. A lot of play in there. So we'll get to that here in a second. Alright. Alright, so I got it off. This bottom bolt here is a little bit of a booger. It kept trying to bind up on me. So, but as y'all can see in here, there's the gear. I probably got to, looks like I'm gonna have to pull that out. Yep. Okay. Get all this here all cleaned up. And get all that cleaned up. And at this stage, it probably wouldn't hurt to wear a dust mask, because you do not want to be breathing any of this, looks like maybe brake powder or brake dust. Don't want to be breathing all that in. Pay attention how y'all take this off. Okay, because it's going to go in pretty much just like that right there. The whole brake assembly here, brake shoe disc, whatever here, slips over this. All right, so just watch how y'all taking that all off. So you don't have to disassemble any of this. You just got to unbolt it and pull it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up. Get some WD-40 on these bolts here. Get a wire wheel. Get them all cleaned up and put everything back together. All right. So, and I'm gonna show y'all through that too on how to do that. So, I mean, it's just basically in reverse, but I know a lot of YouTube videos does not cover that, and people end up getting lost and trying to figure out where everything goes. So I'll be showing a full video on this. All right, guys. All right, so got my dust mask on. Now I know a lot of people, they would just kind of go in here. Well, I don't know a lot of people, but most people that don't think, that don't have a whole lot of common sense on stuff. This is possible, like I say, this is K10, this is brake dust. Comes from these brake shoes here. You don't want to just go ahead and go in there and start wiping and getting it all cleaned up, because what's going to happen is that's powder. It's fine powder. It's going to float in the air. Take a chance of breathing it in, and you don't want that. Would not be a good day. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take just a can of WD-40. If I can get the damn thing to spray in here. But what I want to do is I want to wet this really good. That's going to eliminate any dust that's going to be floating in the air. And that's also going to save me from having to breathe it in. Which dust mask is going to help a lot of that too. But spray it in there really good. Get you a rag. There you go. You ain't got to worry about dust. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. And it's wet. So you can actually wipe it out a lot easier. Now, that ain't good either. Metal. See that? I'll tell you what, run into one problem after another. Be careful when you go to stick fingers and stuff in here. Because you don't want to get any metal stuck in your fingers or anything like that. And what it's looking like to me, and I already know what some of y'all are probably going to be thinking, replace it. I don't know how long this has been bad. I don't know if it just went out or what. But that being metal shaving, it's the inside lip in here. I can feel it all the way around it. It has literally, yeah, it has literally scored inside this. Oh, shit. So, don't look like she's going to be driving her car today. Working on my fiance's car. I know a lot of y'all probably like, oh, I'll be alright, just pull it out, whatever. No. Because honestly, with it being like this, I can feel some sharp edges here where it's supposed to be smooth. And it's the bearing in here has done wore out so freaking, well, this other one, done wore out so bad that it has actually engrooved and started tearing it up in here. I don't trust it. So this whole hub, or this whole assembly right here, will have to be replaced. There's just no way around it. I mean, yeah, I could probably pull it out and just hope for the best and make it work. But if it's not seated in there right, I don't know. So, it's just, to me, honestly, it's just best to just go ahead and replace this whole unit. This whole unit, just go ahead and replace it. So, I mean, you don't know until you start getting into these things. So, I have no clue. When I start seeing stuff like that, that's not a good sign. And I'd just rather replace the whole damn thing and be done with it. Yep. It's literally chewed it up a little bit in there, so I ain't. Alright, so I guess that's going to sum it up for this video. For right now. Okay, so. But, like I said, this is going to slip over this, okay? You got your gear in there. Okay. So it'll be like that. So that slips over that. Then you got 4 bolts. 2 top, 2 bottom. Got to get them from the back side here. That'll pull out and put the new one in reverse. And good to go. But on my case, never fails. So I don't know what else to tell you at this point. I mean, if you run into the same issue that I run into with this here, you might as well just go ahead and replace this. And rather be safe than sorry, guys. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. But anytime you're dealing with brake dust and stuff, make sure you spray it down with some WD-40 penetrating oil, whatever, just enough to get it wet, and then you can wipe it out and you ain't got to worry about dust floating around and all that good stuff. So anyway, such another time, and I'll probably be making some more videos, and I don't know how much that's going to cost. I'll have to call AutoZone again and see how much it's going to run. So if I've got the money today, maybe might pick up one and may finish out this video. So it'll probably be a part 2, but it is what it is. All right, later guys, I'm done talking for right now.